Shifcott had a question. I'm sure you read Tom Gores' letter like a lot of other people. And he had something in his letter and it says, quote, urgent winning move. So what did you think Gores meant by that? Do you think it's a more of a thing of like you guys won 44 games when the season starts, just have the foot on the gas? Or do you think it's more you could kind of read the tea leaves of maybe it's time to possibly put your chips on the table to upgrade a certain position?
I think Tom understands where the timeline is with this team.
Hmm.
Saying urgent winning, I think is coming off of knowing that this team has been very, very, very bad over the past several seasons. And he also has emphasized, for the brief amount of time that we've heard from him and talked to him, because luckily we haven't had to hear a lot from him this season, which is a great sign. But him speaking about urgent winning, I don't really think necessarily means that we need to find, a healthy number of acquisitions to kind of take us somewhere that we're dying to be, because you just finally got to somewhere that you've been dying to
Yeah.
be. Like you just get in the play in and say, okay, well, how can we get to the playoffs now? Like now at this point, like I don't think the Pistons are thinking of ECF next season. I think right now, win a playoff series. I think that is the next step that they're looking for in what their development is as a team. And I don't necessarily think a big splash or a crazy number of acquisitions is the transaction they're looking forward to getting there. Again, I don't want to say they overachieved, because this is a good team that they had, and they surpassed the expectations that were presented to them before. Let's just say that. And knowing that, I feel like Tom is able to be a little bit more patient with that, and understanding that the urgent winning, again, it's kind of arriving. We even heard it from the other players and teams around the league. Brunson said they're not arriving, they're here. And I think we all kind of understand at this point. So I don't necessarily think this means that they're looking to try to do something crazy in terms of how they want to shake up the roster. I think they understand what's here, and I think they want to try to see what that is over the next couple seasons, probably.
Yeah, same here. Like anytime Tom Gore speaks, I think fans just have their eyes glued to whatever he says. And I
Mm-hmm.
get it because I remember, SVG era. He's like, we got to make a big move. We got to get that star. And he got Blake.
Yep.
So urgent winning, the way I look at it is he's gone through a period where they rebuilt and, they weren't winning a whole lot of games. This is the first season since 2015-16 where they had a winning record and they won 44 games. I think he understands that he can't make the same mistakes as he did, with Stan Van Gundy with Trajan. And I think
Right.
Trajan probably talks to him every day, telling him what his plan is and how they're going to execute it, because he seems like a very calculated person just listening to him. Especially having a math major at Duke. He probably knows what everyone's making. Like, honestly, like, you can just tell he's just very calculated. When I read that letter, Shift God, urgent winning to me just means he finishes the 6th seed. Can you get to a 4 seed?
Right.
That's the way I look at it. I don't look at it as urgent winning. Go get Zion. Go get Devin
Right.
Booker. Like, because that's what I saw this week. Listening to some shows here locally in Detroit, whether it's Woodward Sports or 97 the Ticket, like they kind of aggregated it like crazy, but that's what they do. They aggregate everything they see. And it's the nature of the business. I get it. You do a radio show 5 days a week. What are you going to talk about? Lions training camp, 365. Like you got to have something to talk about. The urgent winning, I really didn't view it as we're going to go get a star. It's just try to be a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. But you know how those shows are, man. It's kind of crazy.
What you said is exactly important. Like, oh, how can we go get Zion? Or if Giannis is here, would you do this to bring him? You're like, nah. Like you shouldn't feel like that's the necessity right now. Again, urgent winning, like you said, could just mean moving up a spot from where you were last season. Because again, none of them thought they were going to be in the 6th spot. I thought a lot of people kind of had a bit of the same expectations of around 30 wins and try to find a way to flirt with the play-in spot. Like, if that was where they ended up, I think everybody would be doing handstands right now about that. Like, knowing that they played as well as they did this season, even with losing in the dramatic fashion they did in the playoffs, LCA still left the arena with a standing ovation to the team saying, thank you, congratulations for what you did. So yeah, urgent winning doesn't mean how can we get a ring here as soon as possible. Like, and even if that's the case, I don't think they're thinking we have to overhaul everything in order to make that happen. Like, he called Cade an MVP level player for a reason. If you were worried about urgent winning, you wouldn't be talking about that for a guy like Cade. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he would have a different mindset in approaching that, knowing the players that they have, knowing the talent that they have, knowing that the roles are that they fill, and knowing the impact of JB Bickerstaff, that what he's brought to the culture of this team, I think kind of rounds out what they're looking for right now. They want to establish a culture, establish a foundation. They did all that. All that has been solidified. I think now you start, I guess, the winning process, but I don't look at it as the urgent winning, even though that was like the trigger term for it. I don't know. I just didn't look at it the way that he said it when he said it.